Hi friends, thank you so much for being here. Today's video, I'm going to update you on my current everyday makeup, which is this beautiful look right here, and also talking about my favorite techniques and favorite products that I've been using to create my everyday makeup. I hope this year has been good for you so far. However, wow, January has felt like 90 days. And I'm kind of ready for her to leave. Things have just felt really heavy, so I just want to take a moment to say, especially if you live in the United States, I'm sending you so much love and light. I hope that you find ways to still find joy and happiness and moments of peace and relaxation amidst this very tumultuous time. If you are Black, brown, disabled, a person on the spectrum, a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, just know that I am one of you. I am praying for you. I'm wishing you the best, and this is a safe space always for you on this channel. If you want to know all the tea on my everyday makeup and favorite products as of late, then let's go. All right, lately I've been going back to doing my eyes first. These are the 3 eyeshadow palettes that I've been rotating through. So first is my I Need a Warm. I've been using this one the most out of these 3, especially like these really peachy tones. I've been going for an all matte look, just something very light in the crease, and then I'll either do a shadow wing or I'll do just a regular like liquid liner wing. Then we have the Kaleidos Quad in a Cold Brew. I adore this palette. If you love a very cool toned look, like cool browns, borderline gray, you would love this palette. This topper shade in this palette is just one of the best. I actually wore this last night when I went out. It is just so ethereal, really good in like low light settings. And then lastly, I did speak about this in a recent video. I did pick up the new Natasha Denona Mini Ice Sculpt Shadow Palette, which is what I'm going to be using today because I do want to talk a little bit about this and use this on camera. Off of camera, I did prime my eyelids with my favorite Kokie Double Time Full Coverage Concealer. I set that with my Hourglass Translucent Veil. I've been getting back into this powder, you guys. My Kosas Cloud Set in Comfy is like a little bit too peachy for me right now because this is the palest that I get. So I've been going back into this one, and this powder is just so to you guys. I had to remind myself how good it is. And then this is part of my Project Pan. Go check out my Project Pan. All the details about last year's going into this year's Project Pan, I will leave a card right here. But I've been using this Yummy Skin Glow Serum from Danessa Myricks. That is what I'm wearing on top of all my skincare that's giving me that really nice glow. I have been using tape. This is like a lifesaver, one of the hacks that I use all the time. And I've been angling my tape pretty upwards, so not in line with where my lash line goes, but a little bit higher than that. I've been really getting into the Sigma E25. So this is a little bit more of a pinched blending brush that helps me keep the color in my crease, actually in my crease, because I have really small eyes. I also have hooded eyes, and a lot of blending brushes are bigger than this, and they can overblow the eyeshadow to be like all the way up and my freaking eyebrow. First things first, I'm gonna go into the shade Light, which is the second to lightest shade. And I basically start at the tape and just go into the crease. I keep all of the pigmentation for this eye look out on the outer edge of my eye. And I'm very messy with this. It does not have to be pinpointed at all. I'm just laying down a transition shade before we go into the deeper browns. Next is the shade Medium, which is the center brown. Using the same brush, and I'm going to do that exact same thing, but just in a smaller area. If I go out at night or if I'm going on a date, then I'll add a topper, but aside from that, all matte. I just love an all matte eye look for the winter. When I get into summer, that's when I want to start playing with like shimmers and everything, but like that soft matte look has been getting me, you guys. We're gonna do just a classic deepening up the outer V, going into the next deepest shade, which is called Deep, and really focusing this one right close to the tape and onto my lash line. Now with a fluffy blender, this one is from Wet n Wild, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade Light one more time and just go over the very edges. I'm gonna do a little shadow wing with the black shade, which is called Black. And I really like this angled brush. This one is from Amazon, but it's a very thin angled brush. First, I like to start at the corner of my eye where it meets the tape right here. And I'll just very lightly sketch out how long I want my wing to be, which for me, most days is basically to the end of the tail of my eyebrow. And then I'll turn my brush around and then I'll just back blend. But still keeping the color very, very close to the tape. I'm on that skinny wing again, you guys. Like the skinny wings that don't really cover a lot of the lid or the crease. They just, especially if you have hooded eyes, I just really think that this kind of eyeliner is so flattering and makes your eyes elongated, but also gives you that really cat eye effect. I keep my wing on this side of my pupil, so this outer half of my eyelid, but lately I have been taking just a little bit of the black and I'll go in right into this inner corner and just add a little bit of definition right here. So it just gives the illusion that my eyes are a little bit taller this way. I haven't been doing like the inner corner wing. This is like the inner corner wing adjacent. Last step is we're going in with the fair shade on a Sigma E54. This is my favorite flat packing brush. And we're just gonna go right on the inside part of the lid. If you have hooded eyes, we don't really have much lid space. I find that it just gives that illusion if you put a light, bright shade above the crease, right in the inner part. And here is the tape reveal. Got a little bit on the lower lash line, but that's okay because I have been cleaning up with concealer. I've been taking some of my Kokie concealer and literally just the tiniest little amount, like literally that much. And I'm using this Dose of Colors double-ended winged eyeliner brush, taking the winged side and coating it on both sides. And since this is an angled brush, I literally just stamp it underneath, so I don't really have to think about getting it straight. The brush does the work for me. And I've just been loving brightening up underneath my eyeshadow like this before I go in with my foundation. So I'm gonna do the other eye off of camera, and you guys already know the drill with lashes. I'm gonna do my press-on falsies and I'll be right back. Here are my final thoughts on this mini eye sculpt palette from Natasha Denona. I love this. I will say the black in here is more of like a smoky buildable black. This is not the type of black eyeshadow that you would put all over your lid as a base. I do have to build it up quite a few times to get it to this pigmentation, but for beginners, I think this is a really good black to put in here. There's a little bit of pickup, but really like nothing bad at all. So these are not super, super powdery. They're great, easy blendable eyeshadows. They never skip, nothing like that. Typical to Natasha Denona's quality. For complexion, I have been spot concealing with my Rem Beauty Sweetener Concealer and using a tiny little detail brush and just covering up all of my little acne / hyperpigmentation spots. And after I've blended those out, I will go ahead and very lightly set with my translucent setting powder. For foundation, my favorite one has been my About Face The Performer foundation, but I'm kind of in between my shades right now, so I've been opting for this Beautyblender Bounce Skin Tint. I have the shade Medium 3. This is the perfect shade for me in the winter, and this is the only foundation that I have in my collection that perfectly matches me without having to like mix or alter anything, so I have been opting for this one. If you like the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit foundation, this is a thinner, lighter version of that, and I take like a single drop of this. You do not need a lot of this foundation because it is full coverage. I also got this off a Kathleen Lights recommendation. I've been getting so many good recommendations from her. So if you also have dry skin, I would definitely check out Miss Kathleen Lights recommendations for favorite videos. I have found some of my favorites from her. For concealer, I have been having to mix two of my favorite concealers. So of course my Tower 28. This one is starting to look also a little bit peachy underneath the eyes because it is like basically my skin tone. But I do like a little bit of a brighter under eye, especially in the winter. So I've been lightening it with this Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in Vanilla Swirl. I will have everything listed down below as always. I always have a list of the makeup that I'm wearing in the description box. While we're letting that dry down a little bit, I pulled out my old school Light Lock fluid. This is the OG packaging in Shaken or Stirred. This stuff has definitely expired the house down boots. I know this is so freaking expired. I've had this for at least 3 years. I like to put this one on before all of my other cheek products because, as you can tell, it is UFO inducing. I'm gonna put a pause on complexion so I can go ahead and put on my lip liner stain. I've used the heck out of these Sachu lip liner stains. I have to re-up on this one in 02 Mauve. This is my favorite one. I've been wearing this basically every single day, and this one is almost dried out, so it's kind of hard to do the lip line. But I like to make sure to go ahead and get the Cupid's bow. You can tell it's drying out because it's starting to skip and everything. Because can you believe, you guys, I have not even been wearing lip liners. I've just been wearing stains. Next is bronzer. I have been really into this Nabla Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder. This is a really good like bronzer. It's the perfect bronzer contour mix. I've been really liking going in with my bronzer contour using a fan brush, you guys. This one is from NYX. Their brush in 06. I believe this is called their fan brush. But if you have never tried a fan brush for your bronzer or contour to get you looking really snatched really quick, this is a bit harder pressed, so I do kind of have to really like dig into the compact. I personally don't mind that because I love a buildable bronzer. I've even been using this for my nose contour because it's not super glowy where it's gonna look like a highlighter. For blush, surprisingly, I've been getting back into these Kosas Blush is Life. My favorite shade is Bliss right now, this peachy color I've been wearing all the frickin' time. And second would be, of course, the very viral Cool Pink. in Butterflies. I really like the pearl and the colors of these. However, I will say these are not long wearing, at least on my skin tone, they are not long wearing. And of course, I'm still in deep with my love affair with the Huda Beauty blush filter in Coco Loco. This is my favorite blush, you guys. Like, I have to make a conscious, intentional decision not to use this blush every single time I wear makeup. Straight up. Like, adore this blush. But for today, I'm feeling something a little juicy. I've been going in with a lot of powder. So I want to go in with Say Chili, one of my favorite liquid blushes. I want to shout out my two favorite blush brushes. Of course, it's got to be the number 7 Complexion Perfection from IT Cosmetics. This is my second one, my favorite brush of all time. And then Ulta Beauty, you guys. You should not sleep on Ulta Beauty's, both their brushes or their color cosmetics. They have some hidden gems, absolute bangers. And this is their Precise Foundation number 12 brush. It's a really nice slanted, slightly dense angled brush. I like to put my liquid blushes in the center of my palm, like so. And then I'll completely coat the bristles. And I've been applying my blush basically in the back of my face above my highlighter. This is such a cute, cute flushed pink shade for winter. And I just really like having everything more back on my face. My face is very square, and I feel like this just gives me more of like a heart shape when I angle everything up like this and keep it outside of the center of my face. We need to set this mug. So I'm just getting some of that Hourglass powder. I'm still loving these little e.l.f. pocket-sized puffs. I'm gonna start with underneath the eyes. I also do the chin, right in the center of my nose, just to highlight the very top. A little bit on the forehead. I also have been cutting underneath my cheek products to make it look even more snatched. So from the top of my ear, connected down to the corner of my mouth in this angle, that's where I go. And I take a hefty amount of powder, like that. I'll just leave that there for a couple of seconds. I'm brushing that away with a big fluffy brush. This one's from e.l.f. I can't live without this step now. I never used to do this step before of like low-key baking, but like it just snatches like so good. All right, time for this to get evicted. I'm gonna get a wet rag and get the rest of this off, and I'll be right back. Before I do eyebrows, I'm gonna add another lip tint. I got this Amuse Dew Tint in the shade 07 Fig Brown. It is so pretty. The camera's making it look a little bit more pinky warm toned than it actually looks like in person. In person, it looks like a pinky mauve with a brown base. So I put this all over my lip line, basically pretending like this is my lip liner. I'm just gonna let this sit for a couple of minutes before I wipe it off, but there are 3 lip liners that when I do wear lip liner, these are the ones that I've been wearing. First of all is my NYX Sassy and their Line Loud lip pencils. I cannot sharpen this anymore, so she's almost out. I love her to death. I'll go ahead and swatch these. Also, has anyone else been deep into the Glossier lip lines? They are so freaking good, way more long wearing than I originally gave them credit for. And I finally re-upped on my Moira Warm Toast. You guys know this is one of my favorite lip pencils of all time, so I got a fresh new one. Starting off with NYX Sassy. In the middle we have Glossier Buff. and then Moira Warm Toast. Very much same but different. I promise we'll get to eyebrows eventually. I do like to leave the lower lash line bare, but I do put some kind of white or nude pencil in the waterline. It's either been the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, or it's been my tiny, very well loved Essence Silky Nude Waterproof Eye Pencil. So I'm gonna go ahead, use this one for today. For eyebrows, you guys, I had never thought that I would put down my Rare Beauty laminating brow gel, but this e.l.f. brow laminating gel has me in a chokehold, you guys. I have not touched my Rare Beauty in at least a week, and that's saying so much because I've repurchased that Rare Beauty one. That one has been my go-to, but this drugstore laminating brow gel is giving Rare Beauty a run for her money. I never in a million years thought I would ever say that, because the Rare Beauty one has just been my ride or die, my favorite brow gel. But this one from e.l.f. is so freaking good, and honestly, like, sometimes I feel like it's low-key better. I do think that this one is way more user-friendly, and it does look very white coming out of the tube, like so. As long as you don't over apply, it will not have a white cast. And then you take the cap off and you have a very nifty little brush that actually works. I don't ever use the comb side, but this brush is perfect for shaping the tails of my brows and just laying the hairs down flat to the skin. And honestly, this takes me less time than when I use my Rare Beauty one, so that's why I've been opting for this one, because it's just been too easy. Setting my face with my Ulta Beauty Dewy Glaze Setting Spray. This is the old packaging. I dabbed off the excess glossy top layer of that lip stain, so that's what that looks like. And here is also that stain on my hand. And getting back into these lip softies from Tower 28. This is my favorite one in Ube Vanilla. It smells so freaking good, and I just love this deeper plummy brown kind of color. So when my lips feel dry, I'll just add a little bit of this on top of my stain, and I always blend out with my fingers because the applicator on this doesn't really do a good job of blending it out for you. Here is the final current everyday makeup look using my favorite products of the moment, my favorite techniques. Ooh, that cheek. Don't you just love it when the look comes together how you envisioned it? I would love to know, what are some of your favorite products / techniques? And if you want more Get Ready With Me tutorials, reviews, and other makeup things, then like, comment, subscribe. I am sending you guys a huge hug and lots of light. And I will see you in the next one.